February 19th, 1885. After 4 hard days on the trail, the posse finally reached the yawning chasm known as Clayton Ravine. Back in the 1860s, the gorge became the stage for one of the great engineering feats of the frontier, when the crews of the Atlantica Pacifico Railroad raised an iron truss bridge across the roaring Pichata River below. But the deeper they dug into those cliffsides, the more unsettling the discoveries became. Caverns, dozens of them, lay hidden in the ravine walls, their entrances carved with precision that no natural force could explain. These passages were ancient, built long before the white man ever set foot in the frontier. Many folks believe that the caverns connect to a vast network of tunnels beneath the earth, a labyrinth said to lead to forgotten cities from an age long buried. And if the stories are true, something down there may be still waiting.
Hello everyone, this is Keith from the Solo Gamers Club and welcome to the channel. Tonight we're going to continue with our playthrough of Alone in the Shadows of Brimstone. This is episode 8 and it's entitled Clayton Ravine. In this episode, the posse has traveled to Clayton Ravine and they're going to undertake the exploration mission here. So let's take a closer look at the exploration mission. Alright, for the setup, the mission is going to start at the mine entrance map tile, and it's going to be directly linked to a T-junction. All heroes will start on the mine entrance map as normal. We've removed a T-junction passage from the map deck, as indicated in the instructions. And it says note that the hero posse marker is not moved forward a step on the depth track for the T-junction, so that's included already. Our mission goal is we have to explore the entire mine, not including any gates that we might find along the way, and defeat all enemies that we come across to successfully complete the mission. There are some special rules, and first one is limited doors. All exploration tokens with a clue icon will have one less door or gate on them, hero's choice. Anytime that you reveal an exploration token, we're going to roll a d6 for each door or gate icon on the token. On a roll of 4+, we're going to ignore the door or gate icon. While the hero posse marker is in the middle section, we're going to ignore it on a 3+, and then when it's in its last stage, we're going to ignore all door and gate icons automatically. It says dead end showdowns. Whenever a dead end room is found, a room map tile that has no exits, we're going to roll a d6. And the choices would be, we're going to add an epic threat to the exploration token. We'll add a normal threat to the exploration token, or there is no extra threat here. Immediate dread. For this mission, growing dread cards are revealed immediately when drawn rather than being placed in a stack. Our objectives are the heroes have to explore the entire mine, all paths to a dead-end room. If a room only has gates or exits, this counts as a dead end. They must defeat any remaining enemies on the board to complete the mission. If we do, our reward is 25 XP per hero, as well as $50 times the number of steps on the depth track of the hero posse marker. So we'll gate as we get deeper in, we'll get more money. And then it also says if the hero posse marker is on the 10 space of the depth track, when the mine has been fully explored, we would earn $300 per hero, $50 times 6. Now, as a part of my solo rules, I have a chapter called Thematic Threat and Encounter Decks. And what I do for these campaigns is I'm going to randomly determine each mission's theme at the time of the mission setup. And this will be done unless the special rules on the mission sheet specify that there's a dedicated theme already associated with that mission. Examples of which would be the Swamps of Death mission number 1, Night of the Dead. That has its own dedicated table that we're supposed to use. So in that case, we would not roll. But in this case, the special rules do not prohibit us from having a mission theme. So I'm going to bring up the mission theme table, and we're going to make a D100 roll to determine if this mission contains a specific theme. And it can be werewolf theme, vampire theme, hellfire succubi, black fang, crimson hand, lost army, a holy expedition, or no specified theme. So we're going to make a D100 roll and determine that. In the event that a theme is present, we'll be using those rules for that theme, and then the team is going to gain an extra revive token to offset those extra conditions. So here's the D100 roll, and we'll see if there's a mission theme associated. We've rolled a 33, and that's going to be Crimson Hand theme. All right, the posse gains an extra revive token if this theme is selected. So we're going to get out our Crimson Hand theme cards. And so the Crimson Hand adventure card is going to be active. It says the heroes may choose to make a mission a Crimson Hand adventure with the following modifications. Crimson Hand encounters. Whenever the heroes draw one or more encounters, even if in other worlds, we're going to roll a d6. And on a result of 1, 2, or 3, they must also draw a Crimson Hand encounter. And there are common enemies for the Crimson Hand. Whenever a threat card would be drawn, roll a d6. On a 1, 2, or 3, instead the heroes are attacked by Crimson Hand, and then it will be according to the table below, based on the number of heroes. And then Crimson Hand traits. Whenever Crimson Hand enemies are encountered, we're going to roll a d6, and on a 1, 2, or 3, we'll also draw a Crimson Hand trait card for them. So to offset all of those negative things, that's why we're going to receive an extra revive token. So I'm going to give the posse an extra revive token. All right, so now that we're including this to be a Crimson Hand adventure, we're going to get out our Crimson Hand trait deck and the specialized Crimson Hand encounters. So whenever one of those is rolled up, we'll be drawing the encounters from that stack. I'm going to place those above the board here, along with the Crimson Hand adventure card. All right. Now, to begin the game, there's a few things I'd like to show the viewers before we get started. This is the status of Barrow's 6-shooter display. He currently has the special ability now called Ricochet, and that allows him to have up to 2 ricochet bullets in addition to his Deadeye shots, and he's also eligible for a silver shot. So I've included 1 silver shot in case we meet up with some beasts, 2 ricochet, and 3 of the Deadeye shots. So that's what he's got for right now. In addition, we have Sister Hale. She has Spirit Armor 5+, and Armor 5+. And that was due to some rolls that she made on encounter tables while in the city. So that will help her quite a bit. She also has the Badlands Adventure Gear, which is restocked at the time the adventures start. She gets those 3 items that she can use. That's part of the jacket. So we've got a bandage, tonic, and whiskey. In addition, Sister Hale also has her spirit guide active, and that's the Beaver. The Beaver will allow her to use a side bag token, but not have to spend the side bag token, so that's pretty good. She also has a Scroll of Protection. She was able to get that at the church, and that allows her to discard that to cancel a darkness card on a d6 roll of 3+. So we've got some advantages here. Finally, Hannah is going to be our lantern carrier for the mission. So we're ready to begin, and we'll start with a Hold Back the Darkness roll. Result is a 5. That's a failure, so darkness is going to move up 1 on the chart. Okay, now we're going to activate in order of initiative, and we'll begin with our gunslinger, Silas Barrow. He's going to make a roll for movement. Rolls a 6, so he's got 6 movement points. We'll move him up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's on the separation point between both rooms, so I'm going to have him do a scavenge roll in the first chamber. So we'll have him roll 3 dice and see if he gets any 6s. He does not. So his turn is going to end, and we'll move on to Hana Okabe. I'll have her roll for movement. She currently does not have any grit, so hopefully we'll get some grit for her. She rolls a 3, so we'll move her ahead 3. And she's going to attempt a scavenge in the first room. She has 1 6. So we'll get out our scavenge deck and see what she finds. All right, so we'll get out our scavenge deck, give this a shuffle, and we'll see what she finds. Here's the result, and she's got, of course, Emerging Darkness. What else would it be? She's going to gain 10 XP. Sometimes when you look too deeply into the shadows start looking back. Draw a darkness card. Okay, well, we'll draw a darkness card, and we'll see what that is. We have the ability to cancel a darkness card with Sister Hale's Scroll of Protection. So we'll see what this is. This one is Lurking in the Deep. Draw a threat card that is 1 threat level higher than normal without looking at it, and place it by the top stage of the depth track. The next time the darkness marker moves onto a space in the top stage of the depth track, ambush attack using this threat. Well, I think we're going to attempt to try to cancel that. So, Sister Hale is going to use her Scroll of Protection. It allows her to discard that. We're going to roll a d6, and on a 3+, we'll be able to cancel that darkness card. So let's do it. And she rolls a 5, so that darkness card is canceled, and we've already used our Scroll of Protection, unfortunately. Okay. So Hana received 10 XP for that, and we'll continue on now with Sister Hale, and she's going to activate for movement. She has 1 grit. Rolls a 5, so we'll move her up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to try to have her scavenge. I have to put out 1 scavenge token in that room for Hana's search. We'll place a scavenge token in the room, and we're able to scavenge these rooms twice now. The new revised rules allow, based on party size, the number of times a room can be scavenged. So we're able to do this twice with a party of 3. Okay, here is Sister Hale's scavenge. And she has no successes. So that is going to bring the round to a close. And we can use any type of abilities or tokens that we choose. And I think, seeing as Hana Okabe is at 6 of 14 on sanity damage, and she's adjacent to Sister Hale, Sister Hale is going to give her a whiskey from her Badlands Adventure gear. And she says, you might want to drink this, it might help you. So Hana will take a big gulp out of that, and we'll have her roll a d6 to heal sanity damage. She rolls a 6. That is awesome. That completely heals all of her sanity damage. Excellent. Just what we needed. Now, Sister Hale has her faith tokens that she can use. She has 3 of them. And I think she's going to cast a spell, a healing spell. And we will have her cast the faith healing. Cost is 1 faith token. So we'll have her pay a faith token, and then she can attempt to make that casting roll of 6+. And if she's successful, she can heal D3 wounds from herself or an adjacent hero. Here's the roll. She rolls an 8, so she's past it. And she's going to have Hana Okabe heal D3 wounds. I think that would be an excellent use of the faith healing. Here's the roll. A 1, so Hana will heal 1 wound. And so far we've done pretty good. So that's going to bring the round to a close, and we will now hold back the darkness once again. Okay, we'll roll 2 dice. The result is a 4. That's another failure, and we'll have an appearance of a darkness card. Okay, we'll draw a darkness card. This time we've got Wanted Men. All outlaw enemies are +2 health and +1 damage with their attacks. All enemies on the next threat card drawn will gain the keyword outlaw. Okay, so that card is going to remain in play. So we will put that in a stand to remind us of that happening. All right. All right, so we'll continue on now, and we will begin our activations in order. And that's going to be Silas Barrow will start out. Have him roll for movement. Rolls a 4. Okay, he's got 4 movement points. And I think we're probably going to end up checking out both of these exits at the T. And we'll do those probably one at a time. I'll try north first, and we'll move 1, 2, 3. And he has the option now to either scavenge this room or to look down the passage. And I think he's just going to do a scavenge there rather than looking down the passage. We'll give the other party members time to move up. So he'll try a scavenge roll there, and we'll place a scavenge token in that location. Well, we don't have to yet. He hasn't completed it yet. It's only when you do it. So, yeah, here we go. He has no successes, so there's no scavenge token placed there. That will end his turn unless he wants to use some type of side bag token. And I don't think he will. So we'll move on to Hana Okabe for a roll for move. She rolls a 6. Okay, we'll have her move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. And I think we'll have her look through the door. And we'll see what she finds. I forgot one item. This game has so many moving parts, it's hard to keep track of everything. But in the frequently asked questions, there's a sheet here that says XP bonus achievements. And there's one in here, standing against darkness. For each instance that a hero used an ability or an item to cancel a depth event, darkness, or growing dread card, we can gain 10 XP. So I'm going to give Sister Hale 10 XP for that. And we also have the Lantern Bearer, which if Hana Okabe can carry the lantern throughout the mission, she'll earn 20 XP for that. I won't award her that yet because she could be killed. But we will give Sister Hale 10 XP for that, standing against darkness. All right, next up now is our map deck card, and we'll see what we see through the passage. And in this case, it is corrosive pools. There is an advanced encounter. We'll roll for that. We'll lay this out and see what it looks like. All right, so we've got the corrosive pools up there. We're going to place an exploration token there, and then we'll determine whether or not we have an advanced encounter attached to that. We also have to see what's going to happen with the Crimson Hand Adventure card as well. All right. Okay, next up is going to be Sister Hale will activate, and we'll have her make a roll for movement. And she rolls a 3, so we'll have her move up 3. 1, 2, and 3. All right. That is going to complete the movement. I won't have her search there or scavenge, and we'll find out what's happening with this exploration token. So we'll turn over that exploration token and see what we've got. And we have encounters ×2, and there is 1 exit. So we're definitely going to have 2 encounters. And then for the Crimson Hand encounters, it says whenever the heroes draw 1 or more encounters, we're going to roll a d6. And on a 1, 2, or 3, we will also draw a Crimson Hand encounter. Okay, here is the roll. Result is a 1, so there will be a Crimson Hand encounter as well. We'll add that to the total. All right, now we have to see if there is an advanced encounter. And we'll make a die roll, and on a 1, 2, or 3, there will be one. On a 4, 5, or 6, there won't be. And we're going to have Acid Drips Advanced Encounter as well. So we'll be adding in the Acid Drips encounter as well. So what I'm going to do is shuffle up all of these encounters, and we're going to resolve those one at a time at random. All right, our first encounter is Acid Drips. Drips of acid fall from the ceiling here, burning everything they touch and collecting in luminescent pools on the cavern floor. Every time a hero starts their activation on this tile, they must pass an Agility 5+ test or take D3 wounds ignoring defense. When scavenging on this tile, cancel and redraw any Nothing Here card. This map tile may be scavenged up to 3 times, remains in play. All right, so that card is active. Next encounter is Ritual Summoning. Encounter active ritual. A crackling fire burns and the sound of chanting drones through the halls. A group of masked cultists are performing some sort of dark ritual here. The Order of the Crimson Hand. You go to break this party up before they complete their ritual. There are a total number of cultists equal to 2 times the number of heroes in the posse. So that would be 6. And we have to make a Strength 5+ test. For each 5+ rolled, you knock out one of the cultists, gaining 15 XP. If every cultist is knocked out by all the heroes combined, each hero draws a loot. If not, the summoning ritual is complete and the rest escape. Attack. Draw a threat card. Okay, so everybody is going to be making a Strength 5+ test. Strength is not our greatest asset, but we'll try it. We'll start out with Sister Hale. She has a Strength of 3. Okay, so she'll roll 3 dice. And she has 1 success. We'll keep the successes off to the side. Hana Okabe has a total of 3 strength. She has no successes. Okay. And finally, Silas Barrow. He has a strength of 2. And he's rolled 1 success. So we ended up knocking out 2 of them. But there's a total of 6 of them. So it says, if not, the summoning ritual is complete and the rest escape. Attack will be drawing a threat card. Okay, so that encounter is complete and we're going to be getting a threat card. Since our party size is 3, it'll be a medium threat, so we'll get that out right away. Now we have to finish our encounters. Here's the next one. Flooded Passage. The passage is flooded with knee-deep, murky water. All movement on this map tile costs 1 extra movement point per space. This map tile can be scavenged 3 extra times. Also, when first drawn, roll a d6. All right, and this is going to be a random character. If we roll number 1 or 2, 3 to 4 is zombies. Hungry Dead rise up from the water, and 5 to 6 is dirty water, no effect. So we'll make a roll and see what happens. It's a 4, and that's zombies. Hungry dead rise up from the water. Ambush attack. 2 peril dice of hungry dead. Oh boy. So we'll roll 2 peril dice. And the total is 9. Okay, so there's 9 hungry dead going to be coming out. And I'll place that underneath the card for right now. We got one more encounter to resolve. And this one is the Red Spectre. Encounter active stranger ghost. The temperature in the room drops, and you can see your breath hung in the air. A dark power resides here, and you seem to have gotten its attention. With a shimmering red glow, an ethereal form in tattered robes rises from the blood-stained floor and speaks directly to your mind. A random character is going to have to make a Spirit 6+ test. All right, we'll get out our random character tokens, and we'll mix these up and see which one is going to be active. I guess we'll try this one. And it's going to be the gunslinger. That's Silas Barrel. Okay, he has a Spirit of 3 currently. Yes, Spirit of 3. Okay, and he needs to get a 6 in order to complete this. Here's the roll. He's failed, and it says, if failed, you are brutally burned by the Shade's eternal hatred. Immediately take D6 burning markers. All right, we'll roll. This is not going good to start out with, folks. Here's a D6. 2, so he's got 2 burning markers on him. So we'll put 2 burning markers on Silas, and that completes all of our encounters. Now we have to figure out our threats. Now we're going to have an ambush here with zombies. That'll be 9 of them, in addition to whatever this threat card is going to be. And this one is 2 peril die of void spiders. Wow. Okay, we'll get our peril dice out again. There's going to be 9 of those zombies. So I'll mark that with a 9, and then we'll roll our peril dice and see how many void spiders we've got. Another 9 of them. Holy mackerel. All right, we'll set this up and see what happens. All right, so we have set up the battle to come. We've got the 9 hungry dead in ambush position. That's going to give them +2 to their initiative for the first round. That moves them up to 3. And we've got 9 of the void spiders in normal setup position. What we have to do now is, because of the scenario special rules, limited doors, we have to make a roll for each of the doorways to see if they are truly there or not. On a roll of 4+, we're going to ignore the door, and we'll start with this one here. It's a 2, so that is there. We'll do the center one. That one is not there. That'll be capped. And the last one is not there, so we'll have 2 caps in place. All right, we're ready to start the battle, and we will roll to hold back the darkness. Rolls a 7, so we're good for the time being. Now we will activate in order, starting with the void spiders. And they're not going to be able to get to the hero, so they're just going to move as close as they can. That's all that they can do. Okay, that will end their activation, so we'll move on to our gunslinger, Silas Barrel. Now technically, Silas and Hannah are on the halfway point between both rooms, so we're going to have to roll for the corrosive acid drips, And that says every time a hero starts their activation on the map tile, they have to pass an agility 5+ test or take D3 wounds, ignoring defense. The agility of our gunslinger is a 3. So he gets 3 dice, and we'll see if he can avoid this damage. And he has failed. So he's going to take D3 wounds, ignoring defense. All right, and we'll get a D3 out. And he will take 1 wound due to the acid drips. So we'll get a wound marker out. And that goes on Silas Barrow. That's his 2nd of 10. All right. Now he's starting his activation adjacent to a hungry dead. So a hero starting their activation adjacent automatically takes 1 horror hit. Technically, he is adjacent to 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, and I would imagine that each of them would contribute the horror hits to him, although it's not really expressly stated, but I believe that's true. So he'll get to roll for his willpower against those, and we'll see if he can stop the horror hits from coming through. His willpower is a 4+. Here's the roll. He managed to stop 3 of them. 1 is going to get through, giving him a sanity damage, moving him up to 7 of 18. All right, now he will activate, and we'll have him roll for movement. He rolls a 4. Okay, he can't move, but he will open up with his coach gun. That's what he's going to use. He has a range of 2 shots. And it says use the D8 to hit. And that's going to give him a critical on 6, 7, and 8. All right. So he'll roll 2 D8s. He has a 2 hit value of 3+ with ranged weapons. Okay, here's the roll. And he's got a 7. That is a critical hit and a standard hit. All right. Now the coach gun, critical hits are plus X damage, where X is equal to the target's printed defense. So he's going to apply, I think, this first one to the hungry dead in back of him. Hungry dead have a defense of 4, so that's 4 damage, and that will automatically kill the hungry dead. That'll earn him 10 XP. And he's going to apply his second hit to that hungry dead in back of him. Roll D6, and the defense of the hungry dead is 4. He rolls a 4, so that is 0 hits unless he chooses to use one of his Deadeye shots. Won't be enough. That would be enough to kill the hungry dead, so he will do so. He's going to use a Deadeye shot, and that will be 2 points of damage, enough to kill the creature, earning him another 10 XP. I also forgot about his burning marker. We have to remove one of his burning markers, and he's going to take 2 wounds that cannot be defense can be used against. So we'll add 2 more wounds to Silas, moving him up to 4 of 10. Silas is going to use a bandage, and he will get D6 healing for that. So we'll do that. He rolls a 1, so he heals 1 wound. Okay. That will finish his activation. We'll move on to Hana Okabe. She'll roll for movement. She rolls a 5. Okay. Rolls a 5. Now she's starting her activation in the corrosive pools area, so we have to do an agility test for her. I need to do that first. Her agility is a 3. Okay. She has 1/5, so that's enough to stop that. Now she'll take her 5 points of movement. and she has to attempt to escape from the clutches of the Hungry Dead to be able to do that. Hungry Dead have an escape of 4+. Here's the roll. And she has it. She's got six movement points. So I'm going to have her move 1, 2, 3, 4. She'll move there. She's going to open up with her katana, and she has a combat level of 2. So we'll be rolling 2 dice, and she hits on a 3+ in melee. And she has 1 hit, so she will apply that to this Hungry Dead, and she's going to do a total of D6 minus 4 damage. It has a defense of 4. And she rolls a 2, so there is no wounds involved. All right. And so that is going to bring her activation to a close. We'll move on to the Hungry Dead themselves. All right, all of them are in combat position, except for this one, which was targeting Hana, so that one would have to retarget. Hungry Dead have a move of 2, so I guess it would move 1, 2, and target Silas from the rear. Now, I also forgot that Hana was in this position before. I'm going to have to look at the tape before this because of the fear condition I forgot about. One moment. Okay, at the start of the turn, she had 2 Hungry Dead adjacent to her, so she would take 2 horror hits. She can use her willpower to defend that, and we will do that. She has a 4+ willpower. And she stopped 1, so 1 of the sanity damage will get through. It will mark Hana with that. All right, now we'll go back to the Hungry Dead. The 2 of them attacking Silas. Hungry Dead have a combat level of 1, and they will hit on a 4+. So he's got 2 of them against him. I can do these individually or separately. There were some complaints that I was combining them, but we'll do them individually. This one will go against Silas. It'll hit on a 4+. It has a damage level of 3. And it missed. So we'll do the one in back of him. Same procedure. That one hit, so Silas will take 3 wounds. Silas does have a defense of 5+, so we'll have him try that. If he can get this, then 3 wounds will be stopped. And he did not, so he'll be taking 3 wounds, and that'll move him up to a total of 6 of 10. We'll mark him with 6 of 10. Okay, that finishes the attack on Silas. Now it'll be the attack on Sister Hale. Now she has armor 5+, so we'll have to remember that. And we'll have this first one attack her in combat position, and it will hit on a 4+. And it missed. Next we'll have this one attack her. That one hit. She has a defense level of 5+, so we'll see if the defense can stop it. It did not. She's going to take 3 damage, so she can roll 3 armor rolls. Every 5+ will stop a point. And it stopped 1, so she's going to take 2 points of damage, 2 wounds. It'll move her up to 3 of 12. Next is that Hungry Dead attacking her. It missed. This one will attack her. And that one missed, and the last one. And that one missed. Okay, that ends the Hungry Dead activation. We move on to Sister Hale herself. We have to check that fear situation. A hero starting their activation adjacent automatically takes a horror hit, so she would be taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 horror hits. We'll get out 5 dice, and she has a willpower of 3+. She also has armor, spirit armor 5+. All right, that was a 6, so we've got 3 successes, 2 have gotten through, and we're going to use our spirit armor against those. 5+. So 2 are going to get through, and she'll take 2 sanity damage, moving her up to 4 of 12. All right, now she's going to roll for movement. And she rolls a 2, and she can get through. It's connected, so she could technically move 1, 2. We can't use the tactical movement ability because you have to have a 4 or greater on your movement roll. So she'll move there, and then she is going to launch an attack. All right, she's going to start out by using her Holy Book. She has a combat level of 3, so she'll get 3 dice for the attack. She also has some hatchets that she could use, but we'll start out with this. All right, she has 1 critical hit and 1 regular hit. She has a melee of 4+, so we've got 2 hits. I think we will apply the first hit to that creature there, and she'll get a d6 roll. In this case, because it's critical, there's no defense. So she rolls 6 damage, well more than enough to kill the Hungry Dead. That'll get her 10 XP. She has 1 more hit to apply, and she will apply that to the creature here. And we'll see if she can get a hit on this thing, or some damage. She has the Holy Book. The creature has a defense level of 4. And she rolls a 2, so no help there. Now she also has her faith tokens, and she can use those if she chooses. And I think she will. She's going to use a faith token to try to cast her faith healing spell. So she's going to need to get a 6+ for the casting roll. She's got a 5, so she'll invest another faith token to move that up to a 6 to get success. And that'll allow her to heal D3 wounds to herself. There's no one adjacent to her. So we'll roll a D3. And she heals 3 wounds. That's great. And that will heal all of her wound damage. Outstanding. And I think she's going to employ one of the hatchets that she has. And she'll try to target this creature with her hatchet. The hatchet is a thrown free attack. Range is the strength +3, so no problem with that. It's 1 shot. She gets +2 to damage. Although this is a ranged attack, use the melee 2 hit for the roll. So she'll need a 4+. Here's the roll. And she's got it. That's a critical hit on top of it. So the damage is +2. 6 and 2 is 8, more than enough to kill that creature with the hatchet. And that'll earn her another 10 XP. That's going to bring the round to a close, and we'll see if there's any type of actions that'll be happening during this portion of the combat. Nope, there won't be, so we're going to move on to a new round, and we are going to hold back the darkness. This time the Hungry Dead will revert to their normal initiative, so they'll be at initiative 1. And we'll try to hold back the darkness. Result is an 8. That's no problem. So we will shift to first activation, which is the Void Spiders. Okay. Well, they've got some avenues of attack here. Void Spiders will move at speed of 8. So they're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2. All right. So those will be the attacks. And we will start out with the attack on Hana Okabe. Void Spiders hit on a 4+ and they do 2 damage. Here's the attack on Hana. Rolled a 6, so that's a hit. And she has to try to defend that. Her defense is 3+. And she failed, so she's going to take 2 points of damage from the Void Spider. And we'll mark her with 2 wounds. Next is the attack on Sister Hale. 4+, she has armor. It missed. Now we have a total of 3 attacks on Silas. The first attack is a hit. So it's got a hit on him. He can try to defend that with a defense of 5+. And he failed, so he's going to take 2 wounds. That will move his wounds up to 8 of 10, unfortunately. The next spider will attack. And that also did a hit. And we'll see if he can defend this. If not, he's going to have to use one of the revive tokens. He did not. So that is going to take another 2 wounds. That would move him up to over 10. So we're going to spend one of the revive tokens, and that'll fully heal Silas. And we have 1 attack left to do. Here's the attack. And that is also a hit. Let's see if he can defend the 2 points. He did not, so he'll take 2 wounds. He's at 2 of 10 right now. That completes all of the Void Spider attacks. We'll move on now to Silas's activation. He has a burning marker. That's going to give him 2 more wounds. There's nothing he can do to stop that. He's at 4 of 10. And now he's in the proximity of 2 of the Hungry Dead, so he's going to take 2 horror hits. We'll see if he can defend those with a willpower of 4+. He stops 1 of them, so he'll take 1 sanity damage. And now he can activate and roll for movement. He rolls a 1, that will earn him a grit token. That's great. So we'll give Silas a grit. And he's going to open up with his coach gun. It will allow him 2 shots using D8s. Okay. He hits on a 3+ for ranged. And he has 1 critical hit. The other one missed. I think I'm going to re-roll that with a grit token. So we'll spend a grit and re-roll it. And he's got 2 hits. That's great. All right. I think the first thing that he's going to target is, we'll target the Hungry Dead in back of him. And that's going to do a total of X damage, where X is the target's printed defense. It has a defense of 4, so that will kill it, no doubt about it. And that's going to earn him another 10 XP. All right, he's going to use his next attack that he has, and he will target, I think, the spider in back of him. So we'll use it to target that, and he's going to roll a d6. The spider has no defense. Rolled a 2. It has 3 health. I think he's going to use one of his Deadeye shots, and that will boost that up to kill it. And he will kill the spider, giving him a total of 10 XP. All right. And before he ends his turn, he's going to unload some Brimstone Ash, and that is going to do 1 point of damage to every creature adjacent to him. So that's going to be sufficient to kill the Hungry Dead. earning him 10 XP. And then he's going to be giving 1 damage to each of the 2 spiders that are in range. And we'll mark them accordingly. All right, that's going to end his turn. We've used up the ash, and now it is going to be Hana Okabe's turn to activate. She is in range of a Hungry Dead, so Fear 1 will kick in. And we'll see if her willpower can stop it. She has willpower 4. And she did, so she'll take no damage from that. So we'll have her roll for movement. She has a 6. So I think to figure out where I'd like to move her, she'd have to do an escape roll to move, and both escapes are 4+, so let's see if she can do that. She cannot, so she'll have to stay where she is, and she'll just open up with her Wanderer's Katana. She has a combat level of 2. She will hit on a 3+. And she's got 1 hit. All right. I guess she will apply that to the Void Spider, and we'll see how much damage she does. Void Spider has 0 defense. It has a health of 3. She does 3 damage. It's enough to kill it, and that's going to earn her 10 XP along with 1 Fury marker. She gets a Fury marker for every time she kills a creature. And she is going to use her Dancing Dragon ability. Spend Fury up to your level to use the battle tactic. Target an enemy model up to 2 spaces away and move and share their space, placing 1 spent Fury token there. All right, well, we will do that. I'll target this creature here. So she would move there, and then she has no more Fury tokens, so she will just simply dismount. And then the Fury token, it's going to take wounds equal to the total number of Fury tokens placed, ignoring defense. So in this case, the Hungry Dead will take 1 wound, and that's sufficient to kill it. She doesn't gain any Fury tokens for that because she used a Fury token, but she gets the +10 XP for killing it. And that will bring her turn to a close. We'll move on to Sister Hale. Sister Hale is not in the proximity of any creatures at this point, so she'll just simply roll for movement. She rolls a 5. Okay. Sister Hale will, I think, move here. And she's going to target that spider that's there. So she'll use her Holy Book. She has a combat level of 3. She'll roll 3 dice, and she hits on a 4+. And she has plenty of hits, more than she can target. So she'll use the critical hit against it, and we'll see how much damage she does. 6, more than enough to kill the spider. So we'll give her 10 XP for that. And now she has, what other abilities does she have? She has a throwing hatchet. And I think she might as well use that. And she's going to use the throwing hatchet, and she'll target one of those undead. It's definitely within range. Throwing hatchet is 1 shot plus 2 to damage. All right. Let's see if she can hit this thing. It says we're supposed to use the melee to hit, so a 4+. And it's a 3+ for her. She rolled a 3. So I guess we'll have her use a grit to re-roll that. She's got a 6. That's a critical hit. And we'll see the damage is +2. At 6, that's enough to kill the Hungry Dead with the hatchet. Outstanding. It gives her another 10 XP. All right. So we'll clean up this area. And then we'll move on to the Hungry Dead will activate. So only one Hungry Dead left, has a movement of 2. So I think it would probably, we'll see who it's going to target, odd or even. It's even, so it's going to be Sister Hale, so it'll move 1, 2, and target her there. All right, it has a melee 2 hit of 4+. And it missed, so that is going to bring the round to a close. So we will hold back the darkness once again. Result is a 7. We're good. And we will move on with a Void Spider activation. These 2 Void Spiders are currently targeting Silas, so one of them will just move forward and attack. He's got 3 of them attacking him, and we will resolve those next. We'll start out with this one attacking him, 4+ for melee. It missed. We'll try the second one. That one hit, so he has to deal with 1 hit. We'll have him roll for his defense, which is 5+. And he did it, so he was able to stop that one. There's 1 spider left, and we'll have him target Silas. And it missed, so all of the Void Spider attacks are done. The other thing that the Void Spiders could have done is just moved up, I guess, 1 during their movement. That's as much as they could have done. So we'll move on to Silas himself. He's still currently on that space, so we'll have to have him roll an agility test for the acid drips. He has an agility of 3. And he's missed, so he is going to take a total of D3 wounds, ignoring defense. Okay. 2. So he'll take 2 wounds, and that's going to move him up to a total of 6 of 10. Not good. Okay. Next, he will roll for movement. We got to get him off that space. He rolls a 1. Well, that's going to earn him a grit. That's a good thing. We'll give him a grit. And now he's going to try to escape from the spiders, and he has a 4. They have a 4+ escape level. See if he can do it. He did it. He'll move 1 just to get off the space, and then he's going to open up with his coach gun. D8 to hit. He'll hit on a 3 or greater. And he's got 2 hits, one of them critical. All right, we'll apply the critical hit to that creature. That's going to do a total of X damage, where X is equal to their defense. The spider has 0 defense. So he'll roll a d6 for damage, and there's no benefit because it has a defense of 0. And he rolled a 4, and that's sufficient to kill it. So we've killed that spider. Get him another 10 XP. He has 1 other hit left, and he'll apply that to the damaged spider. And d6, and it has a defense of 0. So here's the damage roll. It does 4 points of damage, plus the 1 it had is enough to kill the spider. So we're pretty much mowing these things down, but we've used a lot of resources in the process, and this is just the first room. All right, Silas has some wound damage, and let's see here. He's adjacent to Hana Okabe, so she could give him the herbs, which is a possibility, but for right now, that's going to end his activation. We'll move on to Hana Okabe. She's not in proximity of anything, so she'll roll for movement. She rolls a 4. Okay. And I think I'll have her move. 1, 2. And she'll get out her katana. She has a combat level of 2. She hits on a 3+. And she has 1 critical hit. That's awesome. And she will do D6 damage. 2 points of damage is enough to kill the hungry dead. All right. That'll earn her 10 XP, and she will get a Fury token for killing that creature. All right. And I think that is going to end her activation. Yes, and we'll move on to Sister Hale. Sister Hale is not in proximity of anyone, so she is going to roll for movement. She rolls a 4. All right. So I think she is going to move forward 2 spaces, and she's going to use her 3 faith tokens. She'll spend 1 to cast that healing, faith healing. She needs to get a result of 6 or greater, and she'll try to heal Silas. She's got a 6, so that will allow him to heal D3 wounds. All right, that cost her 1 faith token, and he heals 1. Okay, so he's at 5 of 10, and let's see what we can do. Yes, Sister Hale has bandages in her Badlands adventure gear. She's going to use those to bandage Silas. That'll be D6 healing. A 1. Okay, that puts him to 4 of 10. All right. Okay, there are no more hungry dead on the board, so we can get rid of that token. And that will be the end of the round. So we will move that to end of round, and we will hold back the darkness for a new round. Results of 5, we failed, and the darkness will rise up from 2 to 3. All right, and the void spiders now will activate. All right, none of the void spiders are in combat position, so they'll move and attack. 1 each on each of those heroes. These will just move up. That's all they can do. We've managed to put a block there. So the void spiders will target each hero. We'll start with the attack on Sister Hale. They will hit on a 4+. It's a 3. That's a miss. Now we'll resolve the attack against Silas. That is also a miss. So the void spiders are done. We'll move on to Silas himself. Silas will open up with his coach gun. It gives him 2d8. He hits on a 3+. And he's got 2 standard hits, a 4 and a 6. All right, we'll apply, the 6 is a critical hit. Yes, a d8, 6, 7, and 8 count as a critical hit. So he'll apply the critical hit to the spider in front of him, and that will give him d6 worth of damage. The spiders have a health of 3. He doesn't get anything else from the critical hit because it has a defense of 0. So here's the damage roll. He does 2 points of damage. I guess he will use another one of his Deadeye shots, and that would give him a total of 4, and that's enough to kill the spider, which has 3 health. All right, another 10 XP. Now he has 1 hit left to place, and we'll place it against this spider there. D6 damage. 3, and that's enough to kill it. So he's killed that spider. All right. Used up all of his Deadeye shots, though, unfortunately. He has a ricochet and a silver bullet shot. We'll place that on his card for another 10 XP. And let's see if there's any way he can do any healing. He just has fine cigars left in his side bag. So that'll finish his turn. Hana Okabe is up next. And she's going to roll for movement. She rolls a 2, so I'll have her move 2 spaces straight up. She's adjacent to Silas, and I'm wondering if I should use the herbs that she has in her side bag to heal him. He's very sensitive to wound damage. He's got 4 of 10. So, well, I guess we'll wait. That'll be the extent of her turn. We'll move on to Sister Hale. She will roll for movement. She rolls a 6, and we don't want to move into that room because we'll let the spiders come to us. We don't want to get involved with those acid drips. So she'll stay where she is. She's going to use, she gets her 3 faith tokens back. She'll spend 1 of them to enact her faith healing. And she needs a total of 6 or better for casting roll. She's got it, so she can heal D3 from herself or someone adjacent to her, and we'll heal Silas. 1. Is he slow healing, isn't he? Okay, that's going to bring her turn to a close, and we will hold back the darkness once again. And we failed, and we're going to be getting a darkness card. And the darkness card is revealed to be Hell Siege. Anytime a 7 is rolled for the hold back the darkness roll, you must choose. Add a growing dread card to the stack. In our case, it's going to be resolved immediately. Or every hero will take 2 corruption hits, remains in play. Oh boy. All right. And I don't think I've got any way to cancel that darkness card. I'm going to look. No, I don't. So that card is going to be active. All right. We will go with our activations, starting with the Void Spiders. They will move and attack each of the characters that they can in range. They both hit on a 4+. We'll start out with the attack on Sister Hale. It missed. The attack on Silas is a miss, so both of them missed. We'll move on to Silas himself. He is going to roll for movement. He rolls a 5. We'll keep him in that position, I guess. Well, maybe not. I'll move him back 1. He's kind of sensitive to hit damage. We'll move him back 1 and then launch an attack with his coach gun. 2d8. He hits on a 3+. Both are misses. Okay, we're going to use a grit token from Silas to re-roll those. That time he's got 1 hit. Okay, so we'll apply that to the creature in front of Sister Hale. That's going to do d6 damage without defense. A 6, and that's sufficient to kill it, so we will give him another 10 XP. All right. Okay, that'll bring his turn to a close, and Hana Okabe is up next. We'll have her roll for movement. She rolls a 6. I'll have her move up 1, and the katana is coming out. She hits on a 3+. She's got 1 hit. We'll apply that to the creature. It has no defense, and it has a health of 3. So here's her damage roll. She rolls a 4, and that's enough to kill the spider, ending the encounter. All right. That'll earn her a Fury token. That's her 2nd Fury token, and now we will go to the after effects of the battle. All right, the heroes will catch their breath. Both Silas and Hana activated, so they have D3 heal ability. So we'll roll for Silas. He heals 3 points. We'll take 3 points of wound damage off him, healing him. That's great. Then Hana will also get D3 healing. 2. And I'll have her take 2 wound damage off. All right. Now we get to, after catching our breath, we can draw our loot cards. And that says, at the end of the fight, every hero is allowed to draw a loot card for each threat card that added enemies to the fight, maximum of 3. This also includes each instance of enemies that were added to the fight by other means, such as darkness, or encounter, or depth events. So in this case, we're each going to get 2 loot cards because we had the creatures that were put into the battle from the encounter card and those from the ritual summoning. So it was the ritual summoning and the flooded passage. So it's 2 separate cards. So we're each going to get 2 loot cards, which is great. And I'll just deal those out to each. We'll shuffle these up. And Silas will get 2. Sister Hale will get 2. And Hannah will get 2. All right, then I'm going to total up all their XP that they earned from the kills. Okay, it ended up that Silas had 100 XP, Sister Hale had 40, and Hana Okabe had also 40. Now we'll resolve our loot cards. We'll start with Silas. He's got 50 in cash with 20 XP. And what's this? Draw an artifact card. Okay. So we'll draw an artifact card. And he finds San Pedro's Lantern. Whenever a darkness card is drawn, the hero with this lantern may use 1 grit to cancel it on a d6 roll of 5+. It's a light source. Limit 1 light source in the hero posse. Okay, well, I guess he's going to probably give that to Hana Okabe, and she'll use that in place of the old lantern. I think that would make sense. We'll do that. Okay, next is Sister Hale. She gains $250 with 20 XP and a gear card with 20 XP. Okay, let's see what gear she gets. And she pulls a corrupted, whoops, that's a darkness card, wrong one. I'll have to mix that in. Where are my gear cards? Here they are. And she gets an ally, a blacksmith. All right. So Sister Hale will gain the use of our blacksmith. Gain 1 blacksmith ally. And we're going to use the advanced for the rest of this adventure. All right. That is great. And finally, the loot cards for Hana Okabe. She has D6 times $25. Okay. D6 times 25. 2, so that's $50. And the next one is D6 times $50. A 4, so that's $250. All right. And I think this is a good point for us to end the video here. We've finished the battle, managed to move down the track 1 space. Darkness is already at 4, and we're in fairly healthy condition. Finally, Hana's got some Fury tokens to use, which is good. And I think we will continue on in the next video. So thanks to everybody for watching, and we'll see you next time at the Solo Gamers Club. In the meantime, this is Keith saying good night and pleasant days ahead.